A team like yours, knowing what this team is capable of, that's got to be disappointing.
Oh yeah, definitely. I know the talent that we have on this team. I know the guys. Offensively especially. I feel like we have a great group, and we just got to get things going. And obviously, we started in a bad situation, so we got this bye coming up. Hopefully, we can get things right, and I feel I'm confident in the guys that we have.
And what do you look for? What are the expectations of this team coming out of the bye? Because it doesn't get any easier. You'll probably, you're facing the Green Bay Packers coming back after the bye.
There's a tough opponent. Honestly, with the bye coming up, we just got to get healthy. Everybody has to, self-evaluate and look at themselves all around the board and, find out the things that we need to do.
You mentioned that it's a team game, but at this point, is this where you say, I got to worry about my job? I've got to focus on what I can do better.
It's obviously a team game, but at the end of the day, each man has their job to do. So, if everybody does their job, all 11 guys on our side of the football, do their job, then, we'll be successful.
Last few before we let you go, you have the advantage of picking up the phone and talking with someone who's been through and had some seasons and had some tough games like this. What do you think the conversation is going to go like between you and your dad later today?
I'm definitely, he's big on my team, especially and things like that, because, me personally, I'm not used to losing. And it's something that, I'm not going to get used to. But at the end of the day, also, we still have to grind, and it's a long season. So we just got to evaluate. I'll definitely talk to my dad for sure and, just kind of see what he has to say.
Irv, it's so good to hear you say that. I don't want to get accustomed to you to losing. Hey, last question before we let you go. We know that this was our crucial catch game. I had the opportunity to hear you share a story about your grandfather who fought cancer. Can you give a brief story about your connection to cancer?
Oh, yeah. My grandfather, Irv Smith, he passed away right before I got drafted to the Vikings. And he passed away from lung cancer. So, for me, he was a special person in my heart. And, I have a lot of respect for those battling cancer. And, just keep staying strong.
Irv Smith Jr., thank you so much. Enjoy the week off. We'll talk to you soon.
Yep, thank you.
Guys, FANLine starts right now.
Time now for Vikings FANLine on the Minnesota Vikings Radio Network. Your chance to talk about today's game with the Vikings broadcast team. Add to the conversation on Vikings FANLine by calling 651-989-KFAN or toll free 1-800-320-5326. Now it's your reaction to all the action. Vikings FANLine. Here's KFAN's Ron Johnson and Corey Cove.
Whoops. Hi, Ron.
Hey, Corey.
Yeah, whoops. 40-23, the Falcons beat the Minnesota Vikings. The Falcons up to 1-5. The Vikings down to 1-5. They were 4-point favorites. They lost by 17 at home.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I don't know where to start. I'm
disaster.
I'm kind of speechless.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things where this was a must-win game. I mean, I know we've said this every week, but this is definitely one. I think at this point, mathematically, and of course in poker, there's always a 1% chance, but mathematically at this point, it's damn near impossible to get that last wild card spot. I mean, you need a ton of stuff to happen. And so it sucks to go into a bye week like this because honestly, if I'm the coach, I don't even think you need a bye. Like, you don't deserve a bye week. Like, you're 1-5. I get it. Guys are fighting hard, but maybe let's get back in here and spend this week coming up with a new game plan. So then the next week we have 2 weeks to put this plan into place. Because like Zimmer said, it's just not working.
So what I didn't understand pregame is that an 0-5 team is battling a 1-4 team, and everybody's making it sound like, well, this thing's mostly a guarantee. The Falcons are awful.
Yeah,
You're 1-4.
Yeah.
And Vegas thought it was a 4-point spread. So even Vegas was like, yeah, you're at home. Not that there's a giant home field advantage with the COVID situation, but even Vegas thought a 4-point difference between an 0-5 team and our team. So no one should have been overconfident. And I'll tell you what, this is not hindsight either. Before the game, when they announced that Julio Jones was going to go, it's like, who the hell on our team is going to stop Julio? Now, that's exactly what happened, right? Yeah. They just couldn't stop Julio. Now, I didn't foresee our offense not showing up until the second half.
Right.
And really, they didn't show up at all, right?
No,
they just showed up when it was absolute garbage time. Correct. So the 23 points, they got a couple of touchdowns there at the end that were just absolute autopilot. But when the game mattered, the offense never showed up. But, man, you lost Mike Hughes again to a neck problem. That looks like it's going to be just a chronic disaster the whole year.
Mm-hmm.
Here's how bad it was, Ron. Maybe you had this moment, but we had this moment watching the game here in the studios in St. Louis Park. There was a catch comes across the middle of Julio Jones, and he picks up a first down. And I go, who the hell is number 38?
Harrison Hand. He celebrated.
Right, but my point is you have a Hall of Fame wide receiver.
Yep.
And I'm sitting here, and Muss and I are looking up who the hell number 38 is.
Yep.
If you don't know who's guarding Julio Jones, by definition, you are in huge trouble.
Yeah. I tweeted that right when, so I had the same thought when I saw that play. And not only that, just the unaware nature of the play for him to make a tackle, feel like it was a short stop.
It was a first down.
It was a first, and he carried him for like 5 yards. And you're getting up doing your little DB celebration. I mean, I've made this joke a ton of times, and I'm probably going to make a video now since we have the bye week of like defensive backs. They celebrate too much about everything.
Well,
like
he tackled Julio Jones.
They could like toast the perfect piece of toast, and they're going to celebrate to their wife or so. I mean, DBs just overdo it. And Julio literally carried him for 5 yards, got the first down. Julio just about business, jumps up, going back to it. Harrison Hand is over there like kind of doing like a little muscle celebration thing. And I'm like, one, do you know what the score is? And two, he drug you for a first down. That's not a time to celebrate.
No,
so
there's nothing about that play that was positive.
Yeah, but I did tweet. I said I just said the Vikings starting DBs right now are Harrison Hand, Jeff Gladney, and Cam Dantzler versus Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, and Russell Gage. And I'm like, what's the worst that can happen?
It's
and
over.
Then the next play was that, Julio scramble, and then he made Jeff Gladney make you look and stiff-armed everybody for a touchdown. And so it's just, you're right. Like, when you look at Julio, and I said you have to take him like a DK. You have to be able to keep him in front of you. Don't end up in man-to-man as much as possible. But the defense, the defense did everything they could at first. But the problem is, if Kurt's going to give you a short field, there's not much you can do. Like, there's only so much a defense can do. And look at Russell Wilson. We strangled the time out of his hands. The Falcons did that reverse today. They were the ones that kept my key to the game was keep Matt Ryan on the bench. Matt Ryan must have been watching the pregame show on Fox because he kept Kirk Cousins on the bench. And he probably would have been like, even if I let Kirk on the field, I'm still fine. Like, It was one of those days.
Lots to discuss in the 40-23 loss. One of the things I think the fans are going to probably call about at 651-989-5326 or 1-800-320-5326 is, I think at this point now, 1-5, and you're, again, all but mathematically out of it now.
Yeah.
All bets are off, right? If there is a significant change in the next 24 to 48 hours, if you want to fire a coordinator, shake up a special teams coach, an assistant coach, defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, if the Wilfs want to swing the axe and get rid of Zimmer, like, none of that should be off the table. I mean, this is a disaster. This thing is going the wrong way fast. If you found a way to hold on against Seattle, and then you just do what you're supposed to do and win against an 0-5 team at home.
You're 3-3.
You're 3-3, and you're not necessarily out of it, but
Correct.
You find the most disastrous way possible to blow it against Seattle.
Because the NFC East is a dumpster fire.
Right, and you get worked by an 0-5 Atlanta squad.
But think
All
about
bets
that.
are off.
Raheem Morris takes over for Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn had lost that locker room. Team plays for him. Same in the Texans. You get rid of Bill O'Brien. What's his name? Romeo Crennel. Team plays for him. Matt Patricia this morning finds out if I lose to the Jags, I'm fired. What does he do? He's motivated. So maybe they might need to, I know if anybody's going to leak something like that, it'd be Chris Thomason. So just send a weird tweet about, if he loses in the bye week, he's fired, because they have to find some type of juice. But if you're going to blame it on anybody at this point, the lack of innovation, and Kubiak has shown flashes that he has some innovation, but it's just not enough. It's almost like, okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of something different, and then I got to go back to what I'm used to doing. Just do it. Just be creative. Just get your crayons out and Get creative. Do some things that you see from other teams. But, Zimmer saying, oh, we thought we were going to come out the first play and trick them. For what? Why are you trying to trick him on the first play?
Well, how about him
Get
in
the
the
run
locker
going
room with Greg after the game saying he's never doing that again?
Yeah, why would he?
Yeah, you defer it and then you throw a pick. And you just – the first half was a disaster, right? 3 interceptions by Kirk. You're down 20-0. The game was over.
Yeah.
Second half felt like a preseason game. Hey, we got a lot of calls and a lot of time to talk football, of course, the next 2 to 3 hours, if you include Vikings overtime as well. But, Ron, before we take our first break and then start hammering the phones, let's talk about the passing of a Twin Cities icon at 100 years old. Sid Hartman passed away today. He covered you in the Golden Gophers 20 years ago. You've known him for 20-plus years. Your thoughts on the passing of Sid Hartman?
Yeah, at first I thought it was a joke, and then I realized his son had tweeted it, and so that was tough because I do remember a lot. Like, me and Sid have a ton of just interactions, and one I'll never forget, and he was wearing his trench coat, had his tape recorder, and he walks out in the middle of our field, in the middle of practice, and Glenn Mason just kind of looks over at him, and then Sid kind of veers off to the sideline where most of the media, they know their place. And Sid's walking through Bierman like he owns the place. And he said, I don't know what he said to Mason, but Mason just kind of looked like, who the F are you? And what are you doing on my field? And but Sid and Mason knew each other, but they just had that relationship where Sid kind of, he was Sid. And so he would do whatever he wanted. But I was joking one day with him because his memory was on par. And he joked around and he was like, yeah, you were one of the best, or you're the best receiver I've ever seen play at Minnesota. And then I joked because then he walks off and he looks at somebody else and he knows I'm standing there and he's like, I didn't know Eric Decker was black. And then he looked at me and kind of gave me the wink. So, it's just, that's just Sid. Yeah. He just always, had a way of talking. But I mean, we would have conversations about Tyler Johnson. He would ask me what do you think about this Bateman kid? He just, to be as old as he was, he had not lost a beat as far as mentally. Physically, yes, but mentally, he still knew the game. He still had all the memories, and he's going to be missed because it's just something you can't get back.
And I know he was the general manager of the Minneapolis Lakers a billion years ago, but how many sports writers in the country have their own statue
right in front of a Twin Stadium?
Almost none. Right? That's how iconic Sid Hartman is here in the Twin Cities. Whether you grew up reading him or didn't read him at all. Just maybe if you're a 20-year-old now and don't know much about Sid, he still is in front of you every time you walk into Target Field or around Target Center, right? When you're down there, you see that statue.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty rare. And again, Chad Hartman, one of the nicest guys in the Twin Cities, so my condolences to Chad and his entire family on the loss of his father. Sid Hartman today at the age of 100. All right, the Vikings lose 40-23. We'll take your calls at 651-989-5326 or 1-800-320-5326. The phone lines are full. I'm sure you guys are pissed. We'll take your calls right after this. This is Minnesota Vikings football.
In business, things move quickly. You have to be ready to shift, pivot, adapt, then do it all over again. Comcast Business gives you fast, reliable internet on the nation's largest gig speed network. And now, ask how to get fast shipping with Amazon Business Prime Essentials. Whoa, that was fast. So no matter what comes next, you can do more than bounce back. You can bounce forward. Offer ends 10/25/20. Restrictions apply. Requires qualifying Comcast Business service. New Amazon Business Prime Essential members only.
What's up, everyone? Ben Lieber here, and I want you to learn for yourself why Caribou Coffee is the official coffee of the Minnesota Vikings. Caribou Coffee's new lineup of ready-to-drink cold brew cans are so tasty and convenient and are perfect for fueling all kinds of routines. Whether I'm gearing up for a game or just hanging out at home with the kids, Caribou keeps me going. I'm a huge fan of their signature cold brews, but you should try the other flavors if you want, well, a touch of sweetness. And don't forget to order ahead with the Caribou Mobile Perks app and skip the line so you can get your morning started right. Caribou Coffee, fueling life's adventures.
When the world changes, you change with it. You push through uncertainty by embracing new rhythms and redefining connection. At Sanford Health, we're standing with you at every point along the way, committed to delivering the care you need when you need it. Because even when your world looks different, you can be confident we've taken every step to keep you safe while you're in our care. Call your local clinic or visit sanfordhealth.org to make an appointment.
All right, who's ready to go to soccer, huh?
Yes! It started as a normal Saturday, but then...
Oh, no. Sounds like the battery.
That's when their plans took a turn for the worse.
Oh, I knew I should have had the battery checked.
Dad, look at the birds.
Those are vultures.
Don't let a bad battery turn your day into a B-rated horror film. Get your battery checked today. Need a new one? Reach for what works. A battery from FVP. Verified, proven.
The Twin Cities home for Vikings talk. FM 100.3 KFAN. The Fan.
Cousins goes play action from under center. He'll whip one over the middle, intercepted immediately. First pass picked off Deion Jones. Burke with a straight drop. Passes intercepted at the 41. The second pick thrown by Kirk Cousins today. Cousins, straight drop, ball stiff, third pick. And it's the third interception today for Kirk Cousins.
Welcome back to Minnesota Vikings FANLine. Ron Johnson and I'm Corey Coe from the Power Trip Morning Show. 3 interceptions for Kirk Cousins today, 24 of 36 for 343 yards, 3 touchdowns. A lot of those coming late. Okay, 90.4 passer rating. Justin Jefferson, the recipient of 2 of those touchdowns. 2 touchdowns and 166 and 9 catches. Unfortunately, that's the game we needed out of him. It just happened when the game was over, right? He started racking up yards, racking up touchdowns. Too little, too late, but another awesome statistical game for Jefferson.
Yeah, I mean, he's building his resume, but the problem, again, I go back to the play call, and I got a chance to talk to Chris Carter today a little bit at halftime, and we were just talking about he's here to cover Justin Jefferson for Epics, and he's going to do a little story on him and, highlight him. And he said this kid is one of the best receivers he's seen. Just his ability to run routes, his patience, his poise. He also said as a group, though, other than Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson, this is probably one of the lowest groups of receivers he's ever seen the Vikings have, if you think historically of like him, because he's going back to him, Jake Reed and Randy Moss. You look at even like Randy Moss, Nate Burleson, in that group.
Matthew Hatchett.
Yeah, it's just now the cupboard is kind of bare after those 2. We thought BC Johnson was the guy. Tajay Sharp, hasn't been really healthy. BB just
non-factor.
His size, maybe. Yeah, I don't know what it is. So when you look at Justin Jefferson, though, he is legit. They just have to run more plays, leaving him and Thielen and Irv on the field. Like Rudy and Irv should be on the field. I don't know why we talked about this 2 tight end system and we're not seeing it. And he's not benefiting from the way they're doing it. And Chris and I agreed, Justin Jefferson needs to be by himself on one side of the field, 3 receivers to the other field, which is Adam Thielen, Kyle Rudolph, and Irv. What you'll get is you'll see if they're willing to man this kid up, clearly he can make contested catches. Throw him the ball. If not, then you have Thielen because now they have to respect Irv and Rudy on that side. So it's just a mathematical game that right now I don't know if Kubiak's even thinking about stuff like that.
Phone lines, here we go. Terry in Iowa. You're on Vikings FANLine. Hi, Terry.
Hi, fellas, and greetings from Lake Okoboji, Iowa. Start off with condolences to the Hartman family. The area lost a real legend today. And a 1-5 start for the Vikings just means it's time for reflection. And if Mike Zimmer is not the future of this team, then it's time to cut the cord. And if Rick Spielman isn't the future of this team, then it's time to cut him loose. And if Kirk Cousins isn't the future of this team, then it's also time to cut him loose. No more moral victories, no more horsing around saying that, we actually come out of there feeling pretty good. That's as bad a game as I've ever seen today. And that garbage at the end didn't influence me in the least.
Yep. All right. Thanks for the call. Well, the problem, of course, is not with the first 2. You can cut Spielman or Zimmer loose, and the Wilfs can just cut that check, right?
Right.
So the only downside of that is the Wilfs pocketbook. If they want to let those 2 guys go, they could do it today and just pay out the money owed and move on.
Right.
With Kirk, you can cut him loose, but that's a lot of dead money, right? So you just gave your quarterback an extension, your coach an extension, and your GM an extension. So if you want to make a drastic change 6 games in, you are allowed to do that. It's just going to cost you a ton. Now, they're not going to move on from Kirk this year, right? There's no point in moving on midway through a season from a guy like Kirk Cousins. That doesn't make any sense. You've already paid him, right? The season's over.
Correct.
You just let him finish out the year. But if you want to make a move at the end of the year, that's an opportunity, right? That's an option.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're going to do, though. But again, like I opened the show with, I think at this point when you're 1-5 and you lost the way that you did today, and you're theoretically a Deshaun Watson touchdown away from being 0-6, right? I think all bets are off. So I can't sit here and say you can't fire Zimmer, you can't fire Spielman. You're 6 games in. Of course you can. It's up to the Wilfs. They got to decide what they want to do.
But here's the number though: 22. 2022 is probably the earliest you'll do it. That's the $10 million cap or dead cap hit. Other than that, you're not giving up $62 million this year or $41 next year. It's you're in it with him now, unless you can trade him.
Unless you can trade him, exactly.
But other than that, you're in it. And so I think the scapegoat's going to end up being Kubiak. I think he's going to, like, Zimmer's going to protect himself in his defense. It's going to be Kubiak.
Well, we talked about this a week or two ago. Think about that. You have a Super Bowl winning coach as your offensive coordinator. It looks really strange if you bring him in and you fire him when you're a non-Super Bowl winning coach. Even though he's been an assistant coach on a
couple Super Bowls. Yeah.
You're not firing your own son.
Right.
If you give Andre Patterson the crack he deserves and fire him 6 games in, that looks super bad.
Right.
There's not a lot of scapegoat opportunities on this team.
He should fire. I mean, not fire, but you need to have one defensive coordinator.
Well, yes,
maybe try
cat's
that.
out of the bag, though, right? You
like,
can't.
Andre Patterson should just be
your
their
son.
Why not?
Well,
he's still going to come to Thanksgiving and Christmas.
That's
like,
why you should
he's
have
still
never
getting paid
hired
money
him
to
as,
be there.
Right. That's why he should have never been co-defensive coordinator. Should have been
Correct.
Patterson's job by himself.
Yeah.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Vikings football.
The radio home of the Minnesota Vikings. FM 100.3, KFXM Minneapolis, St. Paul. The Fan.
All right, the Vikings lose 40-23 to the Falcons. Back to the phone lines we go. Steve in St. Paul. Hi, Steve.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
Not much.
Honestly, as the first caller did, rest in peace, a legend, Sid Hartman. Like you guys said, we are one touchdown away from being 0-6 with Deshaun Watson, but that is also the equivalent of me being one touchdown pass away from, still being in my guillotine league. So, I mean, we need to quit this team is not, it has the potential, but it's not getting the potential with this. The coaching staff, you guys talked about it. If you're going to fire somebody, who's the scapegoat, it's just, we're at the point now. It's tank for Hawks crank, man.
Okay. All right. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Well, think about that, though. To his point, how many guys, if you truly blow this thing up, right? How many guys would you want on the post-apocalyptic Vikings team? I would want Dalvin Cook.
I want Thielen.
Clearly, you want Jefferson.
I like Irv.
Yeah, you take Irv. And even at this point in his career, I would want Rudolph still.
I would take Rudolph. I'd take Bradbury. You Kendrick.
Brian
Barr, O'Neal.
Right. Yannick Ngakoue, Daniil Hunter.
Yep.
Harrison Smith.
Anthony Harris.
Man, Harris is having an off year. He got the big money with the franchise tag, didn't get the big contract. He ain't getting that big contract now.
The problem is you only have 2 safeties, so some of the stuff they did last year, they're not doing.
But even so, I think this is going to be such a disastrous year for him. He's not getting the contract that he almost just got because he's having a down year.
Or that he wants.
And our corners are disasters.
Yeah.
Cam Dantzler has a lot of potential. He makes great plays, and then 2 plays later, he looks absolutely overwhelmed.
Imagine if we still had Xavier Rhodes. He looks good right now.
But Dantzler's boom or bust. Hughes looks like he's going to be a chronic neck problem, right? And always have nagging injuries, never stay on the field. So he's probably at some point going to be gone. I have no idea what we have with Gladney yet. Chris Boyd, non-factor. Harrison Hand, non-factor. What do we have? I mean, same thing with linebacker. Wilson's okay.
He's good.
Wilson's fine.
He gets to the ball. He knows, he shoots the gaps. What I'm noticing though is
D-line though.
Yeah.
My God. Think about that. Outside of Hunter and Ngakoue.
I mean, Shamar Stephen had a couple plays.
Yeah.
Jalil Johnson had a couple plays.
But all of those guys would be replaceable.
But Lynch, they are replaceable.
All of them.
Yep.
I mean, Adenabo had a nice game today.
Yeah.
And he looked like he was going to be really good at the end of last year. But where's he been for most of this year? I don't know. I think there's about a dozen guys you would say we have to have those guys. Everybody else is, I think, interchangeable.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Right. And by the way, did you notice that of all the names we just said, none of us said Cousins? Because if you're going to blow it up, you got to start over at QB too, right?
Yeah.
You'd have to change the identity.
I mean, with the
team.
weapons you have, and you look at teams like the Titans, who were able to turn around Tannehill. You look at, even the Bills with Josh Allen and just putting them in situations. Again, the coordinator. That's what I talked to Chris Carter about, and Buffalo's coordinator and Stephon Diggs, and the stuff he's doing there. Same thing. Like it's the coordinator and the quarterback's coach who are going to put your quarterback and your receivers in the best position to win. And I think both in that situation right now, our last names are Kubiak. The son is the quarterback's coach and the dad is offensive coordinator. And it's not working. Kirk does not look. A whole
bunch of nepotism.
Kirk doesn't look comfortable though.
Yeah, I know.
He looks like, I mean, because I personally believe if you were to get with Kirk, because Kirk's smart. And again, I personally would say I would keep Kirk if we had an offensive coordinator that's going to put him in a position to win. If you
like
give
Stefanski.
If you give him
last year, his numbers were gigantic.
Exactly. If you give him the right plays, the right calls, and you set him up to win where he can do the fake go and the Sunday and he's seeing what's going on. I just don't feel like he's getting that opportunity and he doesn't see it because that first interception, there's no reason I'm not in his headset saying, hey, watch the safety. Justin has the over, Thielen has the post. If you look Justin over, watch the safety. He started breaking on Jefferson from the get-go. Pump and then throw it to Thielen deep. That's what I'm telling him before I get cut off at 15 seconds in his headset. And I don't know if that's going on right now.
Chris in North Dakota, you're on Vikings Fan Line.
Hey guys, first time caller, long time listener, long time Vikings fan.
Right on.
So thanks for taking my call today. We were talking earlier on about the, players of the future, and if Cousins indeed isn't in, the Vikings' long-term future, I think maybe it's time to look at Sean Mannion and giving him some reps.
Oh, thanks for the call, Chris. But again, that's a no-win long-term play, right? No one, including Sean Mannion, thinks he's the future face of the Minnesota Vikings, right? You're paying Cousins $1 bazillion.
Correct.
Even if the season's over, you're going to say, all right, you're costing us a fortune. Go out and earn your money, even in losses. Like
Tanner Morgan.
Right, you're the quarterback.
You can draft Tanner Morgan next year.
Sean Mannion, even if Kirk has a disastrous rest of the year, Sean Mannion is not the answer next year. That's just a non-factor. 651-989-5326 or 1-800-320-5326. Vikings lose 40-23 to the 1-5 now Atlanta Falcons. The Vikings are 0-3 at home, and they are 1-5 as well. That's Ron Johnson. I'm Corey Coven. This is Minnesota Vikings football.
Hey everybody, it's Chris Hockey here. When it comes to window replacement, all windows are not created equal. That's why I'm getting my new windows from Builders and Remodelers. My new Elements windows are award-winning for their looks, quality, reliability, and performance. 15 to 23 times more airtight than competitors' windows means I'm getting great windows at a great price, and you can too. For a limited time, buy one window, get the second at 50% off with incredible financing options. Just go to buildersandremodelers.com for details. That's buildersandremodelers.com. Nobody does it better.
30, 20, game winning. I admit it, I'm an addict. If football's on TV, I'm watching it. And if the Vikings are playing, there are only two things that'll get me out of my recliner. One of those is a trip to the buffet table. Ours always includes grilled brats and hot dogs on soft, fresh Village Hearth buns. At halftime, we bring out a huge platter of cold-cut sandwiches made on Country Hearth multigrain bread. Baked right here in the Midwest, Country Hearth and Village Hearth are proud partners of the Minnesota Vikings. Touchdown!
Football is full of winning combinations, halftime and nachos, Vikings and Skol. And now, CenturyLink and Secure Adaptive Networking. As the trusted technology partner of the Minnesota Vikings, CenturyLink helps unite fans and businesses with a winning combination of flexible cloud connectivity, scalable edge compute, and proactive threat defense, powered by our global fiber network. To learn more and find your own winning combination, visit CenturyLink.com/business today.
Ready to have your absolute best football season celebrating together in team spirit? Start with purely crafted Absolute Vodka made exclusively from natural ingredients. Then mix in the good times, good friends, and your favorite flavors. Whether you stir up an Absolute Vodka soda and turn your backyard into a personal tailgate zone, or mix an Absolute Bloody Mary just before the big game, there's a premium Absolute cocktail for every football occasion. Join us at Absolute.com and discover more ways to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Absolute Vodka, product of Sweden. 40% alcohol volume distilled from grain. Copyright 2020, imported by Absolute. Your station for Skol is FM 100.3 KFAN. The Fan.
Fourth and goal. Handoff goes to Boone. Falcons sniffed it out, and they stopped the Vikings on 4th and goal from the 1. I mean, there was a member of the Birds in the backfield by the time Boone took the snap. and leading 10-0. Now all of a sudden, the Falcons just got a goal line stand.
Yeah, not a lot of creativity, Ron. That's my big complaint, right? Is some of these fourth down opportunities. I have no problem with Zimmer going for it on fourth there.
Yep.
But I don't know, man. Some of the play calling is just so boring. It's so predictable. I know you don't have Dalvin Cook, and on paper, everybody, I heard Chark before the game saying, man, Alexander Mattison should have a monster game, right? With how bad Atlanta's defense can be, especially with the backs receiving out of the backfield and running. Madison, 10 carries, 26 yards. Yuck. And one catch for 4 yards. If you had told me 30 yards out of Madison, I'd have said, I think you're about 60 to 70 minimum short.
Right.
30 yards total.
They never got it going, and they didn't pay attention to the like basics of if you have a backup running back, what do you do? And you can't just come in and think you're going to do the same exact stuff you did with Dalvin Cook. They're different. Dalvin gets himself going. Madison needs help. So what should you have done? You have a new guy in Ezra Cleveland starting at right guard. Don't run that way right away. Let Ezra get lathered up. Let him get going. Let him actually hit somebody in the helmet first before you actually say, okay, please go block and help Kirk Cousins out right away on the first play. Like, run left. Run outside zone left. What happened when they started running outside zone is when you saw some of the big runs from Madison. But you can't run between the guards if they can't block. I mean, at one point there was a double team, and the guy just got skinny, and Cleveland just kind of let him come through. So it's you can't blame the kid. I mean, he's a rookie that was an offensive tackle in college. And now you're saying you need to start in the NFL at guard. Yes, he's 311 pounds, so he's a smaller guard at that. So it's to me, you got to figure out how to get these guys going. And that today showed that was not it at all. Like, it just didn't work.
Meanwhile, a pick six by Aaron Rodgers going the other way. Tampa Bay puts it in. They're about to kick the extra point. So it is 10-6 right now. Packers pending the extra point. So the Bucs may be within 3 here in a second.
But I did want to say something. What you
the ball back.
You brought up innovation, and right when you were talking, they were actually showing all these tweets about Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers and how Aaron Rodgers loves Matt LaFleur's play calling. All the stuff you're saying. That's the stuff that you're not hearing from Kirk Cousins and Kubiak. That it's like a ton of. Like they get along well together. The play calling is the best he's had ever in his career. You know, it just wasn't. And then Raheem Morris, though, I mean, we have to also remember Raheem Morris knows Kirk Cousins. He was with him in Washington for 3 years. So he knew, and the first time he played Kirk Cousins when he left Washington and played against Kirk, he killed him. Happened again. Why? Because he knows what Kirk is not good at. And so he did it. He hid guys and dropped linebackers back, and Kirk kept throwing to him.
Michael in Grand Rapids. Hi, Michael.
Hey, gentlemen, how we doing?
Doing well. What's up?
Sad day in Minnesota. Not only lost for the Vikings, but a legend in Sid Hartman passing. Also want to talk Kirk Cousins. You know, I don't believe he is the true issue, but I also think he is. We need a change of face at quarterback. It's tough for me to say we need 1-15 season to get Trevor Lawrence, but even if we don't go 1-15, I think we need to change at quarterback.
All right. Well, thanks for the call. Well, if you look around and we've been talking about this for like 3 or 4 weeks now. If you were on the tank for Trevor bandwagon,
you have a chance.
You have a chance, but you're going to have to lose almost every game because that's how bad the Jets are, right? I believe a couple of other winless teams. I think the Giants won today and somebody else won today. So I think we're down to like one winless team, and I think it's the Jets. You're going to have to lose almost every game the rest of the way to have the number 1 pick. But to Michael's point, and for the tank for Trevor camp, if you do bomb out and finish, I don't know, 4th worst record, 5th worst record, 6th worst record, 7th worst record, then you got to start thinking, do you draft Justin Fields? Do you draft Trey Lance? Do you take a chance on those second group guys behind Trevor Lawrence and have that person sit behind Kirk for about 1 more year?
Right. That's the other way. Like, you look at how Aaron Rodgers is doing well because he sat behind Brett Favre. It's not bad. It's not a bad option sometimes to draft a guy that you know is going to play and tell that guy when you draft him, hey, you're our quarterback, but we don't want to just throw you to the wolves. We want you to learn. And then maybe the next year, if they go 1-5 again or whatever, 1-15 or 2 whatever, we can draft now a tackle or a guard for you. You know, like it's you can build, but it takes time. Like the formula we have right now, people were saying with this defense and everybody locked in, such a young nucleus, it's a win now mentality. Well, now I think that window is passing as we see guy after guy get hurt, guy after guy get off the field. The younger guys coming in not really carrying their weight other than Justin Jefferson right now and Irv Smith. So, and Bradbury. So when you look at, everything they've tried to do, even the FANLine thing, that was supposed to be the guard, and, even without being hurt, there was question marks there. So it's frustrating, I think, when there's so much out there you can do, but you just really don't know how the season's going to go and who's out there to draft. But the Trevor Lawrence thing, that's a tough one. Because again, what if you do draft him and he doesn't work?
Yeah, but you can't worry about that.
Yeah, no,
it's
I
just
get
about
that.
playing the odds, right? Trevor looks like a generational kind of quarterback.
Yeah.
But if you look at the quarterbacks that were drafted this year, Burrow looks like he's the real deal, even though Cincinnati blew a huge lead today against Indianapolis.
Yep.
But the other two big names, right? Justin Herbert was going to be Tyrod Taylor's backup.
Mm-hmm.
Tyrod gets hurt, and now Herbert's looked like a beast, so now he's the starter.
Yeah.
Tua's just sitting behind Ryan Fitzpatrick. Nobody thinks Ryan Fitzpatrick's the future of the Dolphins. The guy's 96 years old.
Correct.
But Tua's got to sit and wait. So if you are financially attached to Kirk Cousins for another season or two, that doesn't mean that you couldn't necessarily stash somebody for a year. And clearly we're watching the Packers and Buccaneers right now, and Tampa Bay 10-7 Packers lead. They drafted Jordan Love. Right, they made the Final Four. They were in the NFC title game. You got Aaron Rodgers begging for help, begging for receivers, and they draft a backup quarterback in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of ways to do this, and I think a quarterback in the first round is a strong possibility.
But even if they're telling Aaron, like, "Hey, man, we're going to keep you for 4 or 5 more years. We want this guy to be what you are. We want him to learn. We don't want him having to go in and learn right away. Because if LaFleur." Because what we keep forgetting is LaFleur, Green Bay is a great landing spot like Mark McCarthy to be there forever if you can be good and go to the playoffs and the fans are going to love you and, everybody's an owner. LaFleur, that's what he probably wants. He's looking like, where else can I go? Like, I'm just going to keep getting big contracts with one of the best franchises in, the history of the NFL. And we consistently are, right in the thick of things. And we're in a division right now where it's us and the Bears. So LaFleur's in a pretty good spot. So I think, the way Aaron Rodgers is playing, I think Aaron Rodgers gets it now. He's like, all right, like if you're going to protect me and you're going to do this and I'm on board. But for the Vikings, I don't think you can say that to Kirk. I don't think you can say, hey, we want you here for 5 more years and we're going to draft a guy in the first round. The money is too much money there. I don't know if he's willing to take a pay cut, but at this point, you got to build an offensive lineup and get you a new quarterback.
All right, Mary in Roseau. Hi, Mary.
Hi. Thanks for letting me talk, and I really want to say that I'm sorry about Sid Hartman. I talked to Chad Hartman on the radio probably like 10 years ago because we had named our dog after his dad. I know that sounds bad, but anyways, what I want to say is, I'm a season ticket holder, and I look at how this is going, and Ziggy is supposedly a smart businessman. And so I know we have spent a lot of money on Spielman, Zimmer, and Cousins. It's already a foregone thing. And if you look at, when the state screws up or when other big companies screw up, they just live with it and they write it off and they just move on. I'd rather have Les Steckel as a coach than Zimmer right now, But seriously, but I think that, Cousins is holding back some of the other players. And I just, we make everyone else look like a star and it just drives me crazy.
All right.
But still love my team, but seriously, I think they have to make some decisions. And again, Ziggy's supposed to be a smart businessman. I just don't understand what he's waiting for.
All right. Thanks for the call, Mary. Appreciate it, by the way. Almost another pick six by Aaron Rodgers. The Buccaneers returned it to about the, 2 or 3 yard line, Ron? Something like that.
But Devontae Adams, though, right there, he could catch that. That's not on Aaron.
Even so.
That's on Devontae.
Almost another pick six of the Buccaneers.
It's
going to have first.
Theoretically, it's going to be a touchdown. They're on the 1.
Yeah.
You get Tom Brady 4 plays, it's a touchdown.
Just you and I don't know Ziggy Wilf. We don't know Mark Wilf. We don't know the Wilfs very well, right?
Mm-mm.
I don't know him at all. I don't know if you know him at all. But
he texts me. That's fine.
We don't know him well enough to know what I'm about to ask you. But just ballpark percentage, chances that Mike Zimmer loses his job in the next 48 hours.
I could text Mark now. I don't think he would answer me. But
just what do you think?
Ballpark percentage?
Yeah.
That he started this season?
In the next 48 hours.
Oh.
Because if you're going to do it, you do it now. You got the bye week. You'd have 2 weeks to get your feet set. Whoever you're going to let be the.
I'd say 17%. I just don't see it. All the factors of this season. If COVID hadn't happened, maybe I would take it up to 45, 50.
Why does that factor in when every
Because
other
I think
team's
you look
going
at
through the same circumstances?
Yeah, but you're going to say, okay, hey, we didn't have a preseason. Hey, we didn't.
Neither did any of the teams that we're losing to.
True. But that's just.
I think that's a pretty bad excuse if you're losing to teams that went through the exact same thing.
And then injury. You had your guard go out, then your guard goes out again, and then your corner goes out, and then your your main guy, Anthony Barr, who kind of is your Swiss Army knife on defense, he's out. You can Danielle Hunter, your quarterback Hunter, he's out. So I think some of that defensively, because that's where Zimmer's hat gets hung, is defense. And so if you look at the defense of what he's put his resume together to say, he has an out. Danielle's out, Barr's out, and Hughes is out. So you got 3 starters that are out.
But by the way, this is another great example. And I think it was a minority, but the people that were saying, well, we should just sit Dalvin against Atlanta, give him the bye. We'll just beat the Falcons. We'll give Dalvin another week to get healthy.
Yep.
And then have him ready for the Packer game.
I said the same thing.
This was not hindsight either. This was pretty obvious to anybody with a brain that you couldn't afford. If Dalvin was healthy enough, and it sounds like he wasn't, you had to play him against Atlanta. You couldn't just overlook the Falcons, because as soon as you knew Julio was playing, this offense is legit. That's why a lot of people were predicting a shootout. Not that Atlanta's horrible, it's that their defense isn't great.
It was a shootout. Just one team had a gun.
One way, right.
And the other team had a bow and arrow.
40 points, right.
Yeah.
They showed up. The Vikings didn't until the fourth quarter when it didn't matter.
Ammo in the locker room.
651-989-5326 or 1-800-320-5326. More of your phone calls after this. Vikings lose 40-23 to the Falcons. That's Ron Johnson. I'm Corey Coven. This is the KFAN Minnesota Vikings Radio Network, powered by Polaris.
Hurry into Fleet Farm now for smoking hot deals on everything you need. Get huge savings this week on things like Mars Halloween fun-size candy. Get 5 bags for $10. Select Cooper tires, buy 3, get the 4th free. And special Golden Estrus deer scent. 4 ounces, $9.99 after rebate. Plus, Toyland is now open with the biggest selection of toys around, from games and dolls to action figures and building sets. So hurry in today. Fleet Farm. You won't believe what you'll find.
Ugh, I have to do laundry when I get home. I have to lug all my clothes over to the washing machine. Then I get to put them in the dryer and accidentally shrink my cashmere sweater again.
Motorcycles make everything exciting. And when Geico makes it easy to switch and save on motorcycle insurance, it's even more exciting.
I'm gonna fold all my socks into little balls. Yeah!
Geico Motorcycle. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
For Minnesotans, the outdoors is home. Nobody gives you more ways to get there than Polaris. From Indian motorcycles and Ranger side-by-sides to Indy snowmobiles and Bennington pontoons, we bring Minnesota's best to every season. Our wooded trails, twisted highways, and the rugged shores of all 10,000 lakes are an invitation. A chance to let what's outside challenge what's inside you. Polaris. Think outside.
When the world changes, you change with it. You push through uncertainty by embracing new rhythms and redefining connection. At Sanford Health, we're standing with you at every point along the way, committed to delivering the care you need when you need it. Because even when your world looks different, you can be confident we've taken every step to keep you safe while you're in our care. Call your local clinic or visit sanfordhealth.org to make an appointment.
The Twin Cities home for Vikings talk. FM 100.3 KFAN. The Fan.
2 receivers left, 2 tight ends right. Cousins under center, 1st and 10 from the 11. He passes over the middle. Caught Jefferson. Reaches for the end zone. Touchdown! Justin Jefferson with his 2nd National Football League touchdown. It's 23-6 Atlanta. Cousins fade left, caught by Jefferson. 2015 10-5 touchdown. Justin Jefferson, a 49-yard touchdown, the 2nd today for the young man. His first multiple touchdown game of what will be many during a very, very prosperous career. Not enough today, though. 40-21 Atlanta.
Yep, they win 40-23. Both teams now 1-5. Welcome back to Minnesota Vikings FanLine. Again, if you're just tuning in and didn't see the news on Twitter or many Twin Cities websites, Sid Hartman passed away today at the age of 100. Chad Hartman tweeted about it. and it spread from there. But my condolences to the Hartman family. Everybody reacting to the death of Sid Hartman. 100 years old. Crazy, right? 100. It is a one hell of a run, and what a crazy life too, right? Super cool. GM of the Lakers. Yeah, 1920. That doesn't even seem real, right? That's possible, but that's how the math works out, Ron.
Yeah.
1920. Ben in Ramsey. Hi, Ben.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Fine.
Good. I had a question for Ron regarding firing a coach.
Mm-hmm.
The Falcons just fired their coach and then seemingly played lights out today.
Mm-hmm.
The Texans fired their coach a week ago, seemingly played lights out against, I think it was the Jags.
Yep. It's almost like you heard me say this earlier.
Locker room. Was it the Falcons being, just playing lights out, or was it the Vikes just playing like S? I'll listen up and hang. I'll hang up and listen, guys.
All right, thanks, man. Yeah, the post-firing coach bump, is it real?
Yes, because everybody's playing for their jobs. Like, they know this coach might not get the role long term, so we are now auditioning for whoever is about to watch film, because the new coach next year is going to watch film when he gets hired, and then he's going to decide from jump, who should I keep? Who should I get rid of? What is my offense going to look like? What is my defense going to look like? So these guys are playing for jobs. Like, you have no security with a new guy coming in, because he's going to have his own thoughts, his own philosophy, his own views on what the team should look like. And I definitely agree. There was a bump in just overall like energy. One, you got Julio Jones back. I think that was huge. But two, if Dan Quinn had already lost the locker room, you got to think about when he was calling the plays last year, they were 1-7. When Raheem Morris took over, because the GM said, okay, dude, let it go. Like, stop calling the plays. Be the head coach. Raheem Morris took him to 6-2. Not saying Zimmer needs to let go of the reins, but maybe Zimmer needs to let go of the reins, because it works when a guy takes over and you have a new voice. But the problem is now you don't have a guy to give the reins to. Who do you give them to? Your son? Or do you give them to Patterson? You need to give the reins to one person so you can be an overall head coach and watch, and not just the play caller. Like, if it's working, great. Like when he was the number one third down coach and he was the top defense, run game, pass game in the NFL, we weren't saying anything. But then when it doesn't work, like when they say, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Well, it's broke. So you got to fix it. You got to figure out how to get a new voice to get these guys to play. And so whether the DBs aren't listening to him, whether his style worked for Xavier Rhodes and Trey, but it doesn't work for these new young guys, who knows what's going on? Maybe, and who knows if they mentally can understand half the stuff he's saying to them. So it's just, it is a bump though. If you fire a guy or you change it up, everybody's scared now because they're like, crap, I can get fired too.
Let me ask you a fun hypothetical, right? Just the fact that we're talking about Zimmer potentially losing his job either this week or sometime soon because it's going the wrong way fast. If you're down 30-7 and there's 10.5 minutes to go,
punt,
and it's 4th and 6, even though you're at your own 29, you're down 23 with 10 minutes to go. And if you lose, these kinds of conversations are going to start taking place. Like, wow, he should go, or this should be the end, or Wilf should fire him. Do you punt there and just say, we're basically giving this game away? Or do you say, I know it's super unlikely and it's 4th and 6, and if we don't get it here, they're 25 yards away. I get that. Do you punt there? Because I don't. I go for it. If I'm coaching for my job, I say, no, I'm not just giving this game away. I'm trying to win it.
From the 29.
With 10.5 to go.
10.5
and you're down
to go,
23
and you're
points.
down 23 points. Yeah, I'm going for it.
I'm going for it.
6. But the other thing, too, though, when the fourth quarter starts, it's 4 down territory. So now I'm telling my offensive coordinator, don't worry about trying to get it on every single play. Give me 2, give me 3, so we can be in 4th and 2, 4th and 3rd, 4th and 1. If we happen to get on 3rd down, great. But like Kubiak's play calling just did not feel like, I mean, again, I can go back to like John Madden when you're trying to come back on somebody. There was no urgency. The Falcons offense winning had more urgency getting to the line of scrimmage, speeding up the offensive cadence than the Vikings had down. And that's what the problem is. You have to go no huddle. You have to allow Kirk Cousins to be a magician. You have to start that when as soon as the second half starts, you need to just go tempo, because now it's about preserving the clock and preserving time with the ball. And so when you look at the time of possession and you look at I think about basketball in that situation, when coaches are always looking for, how can I get 2 for 1? Let me, 24 seconds, just shoot it. because we have 34 seconds on the clock. I want you to just shoot as soon as you get it, because if you make it, great. They got to come down. We're going to need it back for 10 more seconds. That mindset has to go off in his head and say, hey, let's just go. Like if we're going to catch them off guard, because now they can't rest. They can't sub in, and it's not going on.
Let's try Brandon in St. Louis Park. Hi, Brandon.
Hey, yeah, I thought the Fox halftime show described Kirk Cousins pretty good. They said he's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. So I thought that, like, what do you do with this box of chocolates here now? Do you throw it away now, or do you eat the coconut and eat the lemons and the chocolates that no one ever likes, or do you find out how big Chris Hockey's crank is?
Okay, you never eat the coconut one, first of all, right? That is the goal. You never eat the coconut.
I don't even
chocolate.
eat box of chocolates, so.
And you never eat whatever he referenced at the end of the box of chocolates. Stay away from that as well.
You just can't stay away from it.
No, man. Power Trip is ruining this show.
Power Trip is ruining the world.
Well, it's all right though. Saul and Blaine. Hi, Saul.
Hey guys, how we doing?
Doing all right.
Hey, first off, condolences to the Hartman family. True icon. You know, me and losing Dark Star and Sid Hartman. We still got Roy C, but those are guys that I grew up listening and learning from. But to the, if you want to call it a game, it's you can't tell your team to not try to win. But man, we can't fall in the same thing that the Falcons, the team that just beat us last year. They start out 1-7, finish 7-9, keep the coach, GM, fire him, false hope. I mean, I'm not saying I don't want to see us fire our coach, GM, whatever, but you can't win with backups, and we're just missing way too many players right now. Good players, all pro players. And it's hard to, field a competitive team against even crap teams, let alone good teams. I would say on the flip side too, it's hard to assess a young defense with a lot of rookies and stuff when your quarterback, I think Cousins has 8 picks this year, maybe more. They seem to be all in the first half. He's putting our defense in bad situations where, how'd the game start today? One play, we take the ball. The Falcons got the ball on the 29. This year is fighting us. We're just, Cook's hurt, and that might be a reneging injury and stuff. But I look forward to calling in next week, Ron, on Saturday for Gopher FANLine.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Thanks for the call. Now we're talking. See, so as we are going to wrap it up here locally, or excuse me, on the network, Ron, and just continue FANLine locally. As we let him go, we're not going to talk to him for 2 weeks because the bye week is upon us. We'll see if the Vikings handle it properly, stick with their COVID protocol, and do everything right. But you guys, Gophers in Michigan, about a week away.
Oh yeah, Little Brown Jug coming to town,
and game day,
and college game, which is peak 2020. Game day's coming back to Minnesota, and nobody think about all the costumes that were going to be out there. The nurses, the Chris Hockey costume.
Yeah.
Who knows what that's going to look like? There would have been a ton of just Halloween like glee behind that set and all the sign that they would have. It just
it sucks.
2020.
Yeah, whatever. Right?
It's cool. They'll be here.
I think a lot of people have speculated on this, and we can end on this before we let the network go. Teams that are engaged, they have something to play for. It's not like they're going to be absolutely immune to the idea of breaking COVID protocol, but I think a lot of people's concerns before this NFL season started is once your team is out of it, how do you tell 22, 23, 24, 25-year-old guys to stay in your own bubble and don't go out and have fun with a bunch of random gals?
You got to fine them. Like, that's the thing. You got to hurt their pocketbook.
And maybe that's going to happen. All I'm saying is that at some point, do they stop caring when there's nothing to play for?
Yes. Some guys do. Some won't.
So we'll see if they stop caring about the protocol.
We'll see.
All right. At this point, we're going to let the network go. If you want to continue to listen to Minnesota Vikings FANLine, you can download the iHeartRadio app. It's a free app you can get on your phone. You should have it anyway to listen to the Power Trip Morning Show 24 hours a day. or the Initials podcast. You can just do that on the iHeartRadio app. But we're going to keep taking your calls locally here in the Twin Cities for another hour or so, and then Vikings overtime after that at 651-989-5326 or 1-800-320-5326. Vikings lose 40-23 to the Atlanta Falcons. That's Ron Johnson. I'm Corey Cove, and this has been the KFAN Minnesota Vikings Radio Network powered by Polaris.
Hey everybody, it's Chris Hockey here. When it comes to window replacement, all windows are not created equal. That's why I'm getting my new windows from Builders and Remodelers. My new Elements windows are award-winning for their looks, quality, reliability, and performance. 15 to 23 times more airtight than competitors' windows means I'm getting great windows at a great price, and you can too. For a limited time, buy one window, get the second at 50% off with incredible financing options. Just go to buildersandremodelers.com for details. That's buildersandremodelers.com. Nobody does it better.
Tired of searching for sports updates in different places? The Xfinity Sports Zone gives you the ultimate sports hub experience, where you can find games, news, and highlights all in one place right on your TV. Follow the teams you love across your favorite sports. You can even use the voice remote to access stats and scores. With the Xfinity Sports Zone, everybody wins. Now that's simple, easy, awesome. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store for details. Restrictions apply. Requires Xfinity TV service with X1.
Signs you should. Brought to you by Randy's Electric. The kids are screaming, the electronics aren't working. The phones, the tablet, the laptop, times 3, all plugged into the same circuit. Online school starts at 8. You're the teacher now. Work starts at 9. Nothing is working. The breaker is tripped. This has been a sign you should call Randy's Electric. Get the job done right the first time. Online at randyselectric.com. That's randyselectric.com.
360 Painting in Minneapolis is once again reaching out to help a struggling veteran with a freshly painted home interior on Veterans Day. The event is called Hues for Heroes, and it's 360 Painting's way to give back and call attention to the needs of many of our local veterans. For more info, visit 360painting.com.
Fall has blown into the Twin Cities, and now is the perfect time to upgrade to a new Honda. Honda's award-winning lineup of versatile and dependable SUVs offer the ideal mix of comfort, convenience, and sophistication. And with available all-wheel drive, you can make the most out of every journey with the 3-row Pilot, which I drive, the versatile HR-V, or the adventure-ready CR-V, now available in hybrid. View offers across Honda's entire award-winning lineup online at GreaterTwinCitiesHondaDealers.com or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Amazon is now hiring near you. We are looking for team members who know that delivering important packages is important work. Ready to work hard to make someone's every day? Ready for benefits and flexible shifts? Immediate hourly roles are available at amazon.com/apply. That's amazon.com/apply. Amazon is an equal opportunity employer.
Patty Shockner is a doer, not a talker. Hi, I'm Eric Johnson, former Republican District Attorney in St. Croix and Pierce counties for over 30 years. I'm endorsing Patty for State Senate because I've seen her medical examiner work ethic firsthand. Patty and I collaborated to find solutions for the addiction and mental health crisis here in western Wisconsin. In the Senate, Patty kept fighting for mental health care resources that would support our law enforcement officers. Join me in voting to re-elect Patty Shockner for State Senate on November 3rd.
Paid for by Patty for Senate.
At Maury's, we believe we're much more than a dealership. At first glance, we are multiple car brands across multiple locations. It's a privilege to touch the lives of so many, enabling you to shop service with us how you feel most comfortable, providing online shopping tools, service pickup and delivery, delivering at-home test drives. As your life changes, we'll be here for you, changing to meet your needs wherever you are in your journey. Maury's, with humility, integrity, and heart.
Vikings Fan Line now continues on FM 100.3 KFAN and the Fan Radio Network. Vikings Fan Line on The Fan is presented by the Greater Twin Cities Honda Dealers, Advanced Imaging, by Randy's Electric, Minnesota Laborers Union, and by Youngsteds. To join in on the conversation on Fan Line, call 651-989-KFAN. or 800-320-5326. Now it's your reaction to all the action. Vikings Fan Line. Along with Ron Johnson, here's KFAN's Corey Cove.
All right, welcome back to Minnesota Vikings Fan Line. The Vikings lost to the Atlanta Falcons, who were winless before this game. Now they're 1-5, so are the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, Ron and I are watching the Green Bay Packers and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Packers were up 10-rip. They are falling apart ever since, including Just a couple of seconds ago, Golden Gopher Tyler Johnson scores from Tom Brady, 7 yards out, I believe. 21-10 now. The Buccaneers take the lead in a big way. 11-point lead now over the Packers. Tyler Johnson in the end zone. We got Thielen.
First touchdown.
We have Jefferson.
Yep. We could have used Tyler.
Tyler would have been a nice third option.
Yeah. I just tweeted that 3-round Johnson on Twitter. I just tweeted it. Tyler Johnson should have been drafted by the Vikings in the 4th round. Like, that would have been a nice addition to that group. And you'd had 2 rookies out there going to work, helping Adam Thielen out.
Yeah.
The pride of the North.
Yeah. Dave and Shakopee. Hi, Dave.
Hey, guys. Dave Ehrlich, Shakopee. How are you?
Doing fine.
Good. So, yeah, I think I want to echo what you guys are saying, but I'm going to put both you guys on the spot, okay?
Go for it.
I understand that Ziggy has a decision to make, whether it's get rid of Zim or get rid of Kubiak or all Kirk Cousins and all that. But today, not being prepared to go against Atlanta was pathetic and not having our team ready. So I'm going to put you and Ron on the spot, Corey. If you guys were Ziggy, if you guys were making the decision, what would you do with Kirk and what would you do with Zim? Not Ziggy, but both of you, and I'll hang up and listen. Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks for the call. I think it's kind of a no-brainer. I would move on from Zim. If those are if I have to pick one of the two, if you're moving on from Kirk or from Zim, just because of what we talked about, I don't know, 35, 40 minutes ago, that you can still rebuild with Cousins as your quarterback.
Correct.
But I think if you're going to blow it up and start over, we have Zimmer, who's getting older, feels like an old school coach. Kubiak, older, old school coach. Dom Capers is 97 years old. We need youth, innovation, new ideas, a new way of thinking. We need analytics. We need game theory. We need a culture change. And if Zimmer's not willing to hire guys around him that are 25, 30 years younger with 25, 30-year younger ideas, I think it's going to be the end of him. I really think he should have maybe rethought about that when he moved on from Stefanski. When Stefanski moved on, I guess, from us by taking the Browns job. I don't know, man. I think you can still move on and blow this thing up and start over and rebuild and have Cousins essentially be your placeholder until you find the quarterback of the future. Because right now we don't have one. You can say, well, I want to move on from Kirk. Kirk's not the guy. But again, Sean Mannion isn't either. So you can't just say we're going to move on to no one. You have to figure out who the quarterback of the future is. Maybe it comes in the upcoming draft. Maybe you draft a guy like we mentioned, like Justin Fields or Trey Lance or some other quarterback that we haven't thought of. Again, tank for Tanner Morgan, right? Who knows? All I'm saying is I think the right answer is probably just start over, find a new coach, which, by the way, probably means a new GM, too. My guess is you blow the whole front office up, new GM, finds a new coach, you start a culture change.
Yeah, because if you get rid of the GM, the new GM most likely is going to want a new coach as well.
Right.
So, and vice versa, if you get a new coach, it just, it might feel like, okay, well, this is what I did before, this is what I think you should do versus whole new group, whole new breath, whole new fresh air. I agree that Kirk Cousins, you can rebuild around him. But he can't expect $84 million contracts anymore. Like, he's going to have to be a little bit more realistic with the cap space. I get the market is, he's within the market now at $29 million a year or whatever it is. But I look at guys like, and not to say he's at the level where Tom Brady's at now, because Tom's at the end, but it's okay to take a little bit less money in order to build up a line. I mean, you've made over $100 million in a short span of time. So now what's left? There's only so much money you can make. I mean, now shouldn't you want to win? Because if you don't want to win, then go to the Jets. Like, they'll pay anybody to lose. So let's figure that out. Like, if you're a quarterback, I need a tackle. I might need a guard. I definitely probably need a receiver 3. I need my defense to be a little bit better.
See, but can I play devil's advocate? Because I love doing that.
I know you do.
Patrick Mahomes, although he's the best quarterback in the league, right?
Yeah.
He's making about $50 million a year.
Yep.
I don't think anybody's saying, well, he should take less to make sure his line's locked up. You got to get what you deserve. If the rest of your team sucks, it's not your fault. So if Kirk's like, hey, I'm worth $34 million a year, no one with a brain should say he should be taking like $15 million a year and just be happy. The rest of the money should go towards the offensive line.
It could be more in signing bonus, though.
But
like Tom Brady's was a big signing bonus and a short salary.
My point is, if I'm Kirk Cousins, I say, I know what I'm worth. Pay me what I'm worth. It's your job to fill in the team around me. It's not my job to be GM. It's your job. So if I'm worth 33 or 34 million a year, then find a way to get me an offensive line so I can maximize my value.
And that's what I meant. At his number now, like if we look at the market around him, that's why I said at 29, whatever, I think it's fair. But what I'm saying is don't expect to continue to grow up. Like,
no, he's not going to be a 40 to 50 million.
Exactly. That's my point.
His max value.
That's what I mean. Like even if you start to see all these guys around you hitting 40s and 50s and 60s,
right?
And
He's
whatever,
going to be in the 30s or under probably the rest of the way.
Right. Stay there and then just be a good quarterback that if they can build around you now because the cap's going to go up, 200 plus million. Now you can add some guys in there. You can add some linemen or whatever you're looking for. But no, you're right, or he's right, or whoever's right, looking at it from the standpoint of the GM. When you go to the draft, when you go out to free agency, you need to bring some guys for me. They tried with Trent Williams. Like they did try.
They thought they had him.
He didn't want to come.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is.
Well, again, and a lot of
he
people
played
have been
with Kirk
asking
in Washington.
True.
So,
but a lot of us have been asking, maybe that's the case. But a lot of us were asking, what's taking so long with Ezra?
Maybe
Cleveland?
He didn't like that,
especially with how poorly Drew Samia was playing. Well, Drew was out this week, so Ezra Cleveland gets the start. Your general thoughts on the debut of Ezra Cleveland?
He was okay, but he did have some plays where he, like, if the guy is leveraged, so if a guy's cutting across your face, you have to beat him to the point of attack. It was almost like these guys were getting to the point and then he's just trying to hang on. They had a double team at one point. I forgot who it was. I think it was Grady Jarrett. They were double teaming him and he got in and blew up the play. Like, you shouldn't lose a double team because if one guy, if you're not talking, meaning, okay, if I'm like, it's almost like we call it post and set guys. That's what with the Bears, that's what they called it. If one guy's posting him, meaning I'm going to post him up and then you come set him, meaning you're going to stay with him and I'm going to go to the next, you got to know what your role is in that double team. So if you're the guy supposed to be inside and I'm going to be outside, we got to know that. It just looked like at times where he would put his hand on a guy and then he would look to another guy. And the other guy's like, no, you stay, I'm going. And and again, he's been practicing at left guard and left tackle, and now you start him at right guard. So there's no real answer for that because you can't say, okay, well, let's move Dakota Dozier over and then let's let you play left guard because that's what you've been practicing at. It's like you're getting paid a lot of money. You're going from one side. I hate when people try to say that. Well, he's a left guard. He's not a right guard. You're blocking. Who cares what side you're on? Yes, your hand, this hand's down, this hand. Dude, you're getting paid a lot.
Footwork's a little bit different.
Footwork's a little bit, but it's like you're getting paid to just block. Man up, hit the guy in the mouth. At some point, you gotta fight. Like it's got to be a fight out there. It's got to be a dog fight where somebody just got to chew some tobacco, chew some gunpowder, and go out there and fight somebody. Like punch somebody in the mouth, hit him in the gut when he's in a pile, throw him down on the ground. Like you got to get dirty. I just didn't feel like any of these linemen today, offensive linemen, it didn't feel like there was a dirty battle in there. It just felt like the Falcons bought it to them early, and they kept. And Raheem Morris got his guys jacked up, and they were ready to go.
Shout out to Carboni's Pizza for dropping off all the food as they do every Sunday for Vikings game day. And Ron, there's still a bunch of pizza left.
It's someone Sauce's shirt. I saw that.
Well, yeah, he's a terrible eater. But if you want some of that Carboni's Pizza, there's still some in the hallway. So thanks to Carboni's, which is awesome, for supplying the feed bag, as we like to call it around here, even though it doesn't really come in a bag. Liuna's hardest working player of the game. Thanks to our friends at Liuna. Who was the hardest working player of the game, Ron?
I mean, it's simple. Justin Jefferson. I mean, the kid, yes, it was some garbage time stuff, but I mean, 166 yards, 2 touchdowns. You can't deny that. No matter what point in the game, you still got to catch the ball. And he's making some contested catches. The whole game, he had an energy to him. He still did the gritty. I mean, he was still out there fighting for his life. And so he was the hardest working player, in my opinion.
651-989-5326 or 1-800-320-5326. The phone lines are full, but as soon as somebody drops off, you could probably pop in. And of course, Vikings overtime's after us, so still a couple of hours of phone calls ahead of us. This is Minnesota Vikings Fan Line on KFAN and the Fan Radio Network.
I've been with Choice Bank for the past 8-9 years.
I don't know where my business would be today without Choice Bank.
I've been banking with Choice Bank for the last 7 years. They listen.
During the last couple months, we've heard from nearly all of our business customers. We've guided them through hardships and tough decisions.
I've had ups and downs with my business. Every single time, Choice has came through for me. We were in the dark, and it was not looking good. But Choice Bank gave me life again. As a customer, they make you feel like you're valuable.
Choice is a wonderful partner. I can't imagine running our business without them behind the scenes.
Choice Bank is an exceptional bank for small businesses, for any businesses, and I highly recommend them.
Join our family today by visiting bankwithchoice.com. Choice Bank, member FDIC.
It's Paul Allen. Know what the legendary Purple People Eaters and TimberTech decking have in common? A dominating defense. TimberTech has the durability to hold up against Minnesota weather for decades. Not only will it not rot, warp, or splinter like conventional wood, it looks more like wood than any composite brand. And with up to a 50-year warranty, you're protected season after season. Start designing the deck you've always wanted at timbertech.com. Better tech, better deck. TimberTech, go against the grain.
The autumn leaves are already falling. Soon the holidays will be here. Skip the holiday rush and visit Shane Company today for extraordinary gifts in every price range. As your friend in the jewelry business, we're going above and beyond to make shopping safer. In our store, we're taking extra precautions, including temperature screenings, mandatory masks, and social distancing. We've also installed a new air purification system. Why not enjoy a Sunday drive to see our huge selection of fine jewelry? Experience the sparkle of our diamonds, the vivid colors of our sapphires, our lustrous pearls. You'll both see and feel the quality of our superior craftsmanship. You can also book an appointment with a jewelry consultant and meet either virtually or in store. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and shaneco.com.
For the ones working tirelessly to keep their coworkers safe. For the ones rising to new challenges. For the ones rebuilding stronger than before. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry. Free access to product specialists, safety recovery guides, and 24/7 support. It's part of our commitment to help you adapt and recover in these challenging times. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This fall, Thursday Night Football is back. Yeah! See the game's biggest and brightest stars.
That's big time there.
Every rivalry and marquee matchup, all in prime time.
I can't stop us.
Watch on NFL Network, Fox, and streaming on Prime Video.
Let's go!
Unbelievable!
Thursday nights, all eyes on us.
We go hard for what we got.
Thursday Night Football, Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Availability subject to change.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage. Making the right financial decisions has never been more important. When you turn to Rocket Mortgage, we can help guide you to those right decisions now when they matter most. Mortgage rates are near historic lows, so now is a great time to call 8338-ROCKET. And if you need some extra money, a cash-out refinance could give you that financial boost you're looking for. Call today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com to learn more.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states and MLS number 3030.
Your home for all things purple.
He'll fire to the right side. Caught by Diggs. Stay on. Oh my God.
FM 100.3 KFAN. The Fan.
Irv Smith in motion. Cousins goes play action from under center. He'll whip one over the middle, intercepted immediately. First pass picked off Deion Jones. Deion Jones turns up to the 40, near side to the 35, and he's out of bounds at about the 27-yard line. 8th interception this season for Cousins on the first play of the game.
Yeah, pretty rough start, and that was your TimberTech turnover of the game. Mike Zimmer made the semi-irregular decision to not defer, right? He wanted the ball to start the game. I think it was we're going to send a message. We're going to try to punch the Atlanta Falcons right off the bat. He even said he knew that the first call was essentially trying to take a shot. They were going to be aggressive early, so he wanted the ball. He said in the locker room with Greg Coleman after the game, that's the last time he's going to do that. So that was your TimberTech turnover of the game. They didn't defer to the second half. They took the ball and they immediately turned it over.
Yeah, I mean, there was 3 different interceptions we could have used, but that one was just kind of like set the tone of the day. After that one, I think we all sat here and said, okay, this is what we're going to get today. And it was. That's what the rest of the game looked like. It was just sloppy.
Yuck. All right, let's go to Ben in Bagley. Hi, Ben.
Hey, how are we doing?
Good. What's on your mind?
Good. So I wanted to run a scenario with you. If Mike Zimmer is fired, how many players are going to go with him or leave the team? Because are pretty loyal to him, I think. And I think you'd see a lot of players, old vets, kind of leave. Your thoughts?
Thanks for the call. I mean, this isn't like, Tanner Morgan following PJ Fleck in Minnesota. I mean, could he,
I see what he's thinking, like who else gets cut? That who knows? That's the new coach. Sure. Everybody's on the team that finishes the season. Right. Like nobody can just, when Mike Zimmer gets fired, go put their jersey on a desk like Rudy or something.
Right.
Like if Zimmer's gone, I'm gone too. And they're like, okay, bye. I think that would be the new coach. If it's Bieniemy, when he comes in, it's, what he wants.
Do you think Zimmer has done enough in the, is this year 6 or 7?
15 was his first, 14 or 15 was his first year. I think 14 was his first year.
Do you think he's done enough that if he got fired today or tomorrow, whatever, Tuesday, do you think he would get another head coaching job in the NFL, or is he a coordinator the rest of the way?
He'd be a coordinator. I mean, he might. I mean, he would have to coach. I don't know how old he is, but he would have to coach another 4 or 5 years. Like he would right away get a job, because that's what this league is about. It's about hiring their friends. And so pretty sure he's made a lot of friends out there. Stefanski, who knows? I mean, he would say, hey, do you want to come be the coordinator for the Browns?
That would be weird.
Really weird. But that's happened.
That's a bad idea.
It's happened before. Yeah. I've seen other guys give guys jobs, and Tony Dungy made a comment about that, where he's gone and coached for coaches that, were head coaches, and now they're the assistant. And it happens. I mean, Raheem Morris, he was a head coach, and then he went to coach for Dan Quinn with the Falcons. I mean, you can always end up somewhere if you know somebody.
But it would be weird to flip roles, right? It's different to be a coach and then
I'm trying to think. There has to be somewhere out there where that happened. I feel like I've seen that where it flipped. Yeah, like that coach used to be his head coach. I think it was like a Wade Phillips, maybe even. Like that guy was the head coach, and then he left and then went somewhere else, and then he got fired and bought him as a coordinator.
Just in general, that feels like a gamble. The dynamic would be really weird going like, why am I listening to this person? Especially when Stefanski's much younger. It's like,
right.
Why am I listening to Kevin? I coached him for 6 years, or he was my assistant for 6 years.
But no, if he gets fired, he even talked about retiring though. Like when his eye thing happened. So if he gets fired, he might be done anyway. I mean, he said he has enough money.
Yeah, but he's also talked about being the guy that gets the Vikings their first Super Bowl. He wants to stay here. He wants to win here. So if he gets fired from here, I have no idea what he's going to do. By the way, if there's any silver lining to today, and there's really none when you're 1-5. The Buccaneers are destroying the Green Bay Packers. Now it's 28-10 after a Gronk touchdown. Somebody just posted on Twitter. I'm going to assume this tweet is accurate. The stat is accurate. Did you see that Rodgers pick 6?
Mm-hmm.
Just the third in his entire career.
That's probably accurate.
Which is crazy because the other one was 2 yards away from being another pick 6. Right. So he almost threw 2 in about, a 3-minute span. But I guess he's only had 3 in his entire career. Is that even possible?
Yeah, pick 6, interception I get, but like actually taking it back to the house, that's rare. I wonder what that
but
what
even
that
great
number is.
quarterbacks should have more than that. That's an insanely low number.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he is great. Kilroy in North Carolina. Hi.
Hey, what's up, buddy? What's going on with y'all today?
I'm just trying to figure out why this team's so garbage.
Man, let me tell you something, man. I can't understand the whole organization. The Wolves, they good business guys, and some lady came on earlier saying if they good business guys, they should get rid of Zimmer. But I can't understand how they let Case Keenum go after what he did. If they would have gave him one more year with that team, Diggs will still be here, and I'm pretty sure we'll be a whole lot better off, man. Kirk Cousins is a coward. That's all I got to say.
All right, thanks for the call. All right, that guy's clearly anti-Kirk, but I still don't understand the pro-Case Keenum thing, right?
Right.
Again, Keenan, I think we've seen enough out of Case Keenum. Same thing today when he came in for Baker Mayfield when Baker got benched, and sounds like Baker may have been dealing with bad play and maybe an injury, but Keenum basically did nothing in relief today. He did nothing in Denver, right? Keenum's he hasn't done anything since he's been gone from the Minnesota Vikings. So again, if you are anti-Kirk, you have every right to be anti-Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
But to say Sean Mannion or Case Keenum, Kyle Sloter, we've heard in the past, right? I mean, come on. All of us understand he's not Rodgers, he's not Mahomes, he's not Deshaun Watson. I get all that. Russell Wilson, he's not that. But if you're calling for Sean Mannion, I mean, you're out of your
bored.
mind.
So back to the pick 6 thing. If you had to guess how many pick 6s Kirk Cousins has had in his career, what would you think? What would you put your number
on? I'll say 8, 7 or 8.
10.
10.
That's right. Yeah. So if you look at him, he's had 10. You know, Aaron Rodgers played longer, but this list is actually pretty interesting. I mean, the top guy on the list, do you know who that is?
For an entire career?
For entire career.
Is it an active player or just all time?
Just all time.
What era?
The number is 31
Whoa.
pick sixes in a career.
When did he play?
His last game was 2010.
Oof.
His first game was 1991.
That's a long ass career.
It is.
1991. This is a hell of a trivia question, Ron Johnson.
And he's connected. So question number 2, he's connected to Aaron Rodgers. Question number 3, he's connected to the Minnesota Vikings. Question number 4, he's also sent pictures of his crank.
That could be so many people. I mean, that's not fair.
Brett Favre.
Oh my gosh.
How did you not know that?
I
I know
don't know. That's
people are at home screaming at the car
guessable.
radio now. Like, Corey, how do you not know?
No.
I gave some great questions there, by the way.
Those are called clues, by the way.
Clues. I know. I've been playing the initials game that I have at home.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So I know how to
aboard.
I know how to answer. I ask the questions.
Randy's electric spark of the game goes to
Spark of the game goes to Justin Jefferson's touchdown. One, because he had the wherewithal to stretch out, realizing just because I'm on top of this guy, I'm not down yet. And it was a good moment, you know, to see the gritty, finally something positive in the stadium because nothing else was going right. So yeah, that was the spark, I think. And nothing happened after that, but it was a spark.
Vikes are 1-5. Falcons are now 1-5. 40-23. The Vikings get rolled at home by the Falcons and Raheem Morris. 651-989-5326 or 1-800-320-5326. Julio Jones with a monster game. Matt Ryan with a monster game. The Falcons finally woke up. They didn't blow a lead like they've done a couple of times this year. If they just would have not blown a couple of leads and just known how to absolutely field an onside kick, we're talking about a 500 team here. But that's not the case. They're 1-5, but they beat the Vikings today. That's Ron Johnson. I'm Corey Cove in the Power Trip Morning Show. And this is Minnesota Vikings FANLine on KFAN and the Fan Radio Network.
Fall has blown into the Twin Cities, and now is the perfect time to upgrade to a new Honda. Honda's award-winning lineup of versatile and dependable SUVs offer the ideal mix of comfort, convenience, and sophistication. And with available all-wheel drive, you can make the most out of every journey with the 3-row Pilot, which I drive, the versatile HR-V, or the adventure-ready CR-V, now available in hybrid. View offers across Honda's entire award-winning lineup online at GreaterTwinCitiesHondaDealers.com or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Hey, it's Muss, and it's football night. And you know what that means? It's Carboni's Pizza Night. What's better than football and pizza? Well, actually, football, Carboni's Pizza, and an entire menu of apps, sandwiches, burgers, and more. Oh, yeah, it's football night, and that means it's Carboni's Pizza Night. Tons of metro locations and a handful in western Wisconsin. There's a Carboni's near you. Football and Carboni's Pizza. Pizza the whole family loves since 1954.
In business, things move quickly. You have to be ready to shift, pivot, adapt, then do it all over again. Comcast Business gives you fast, reliable internet on the nation's largest gig speed network. And now, ask how to get fast shipping with Amazon Business Prime Essentials. Wow, that was fast. So no matter what comes next, you can do more than bounce back. You can bounce forward. Offer ends 10/25/20. Restrictions apply. Requires qualifying Comcast Business service. New Amazon Business Prime Essential members only.
Hey, it's Corey Cove here for Dr. Ron Shapiro, the doctor's doctor, and ShapiroMedical.com. Hey, look, does your wife complain about your thinning hair? Well, have her call Shapiro and look like the hero. Dr. Shapiro has taken clients from all over the planet, and he literally wrote the textbook that all other surgeons follow. That's why I chose to go to Dr. Ron Shapiro, and you should too. His office is in Bloomington, right off of 494 and 100. Set up your free, no-obligation consultation today at ShapiroMedical.com. That's ShapiroMedical.com.
It's Paul Allen. Today, we're excited to be speaking with Mike, a proud member of Liuna Local 563. Hey, Mike, how has the Minnesota Laborers Union helped you in your career?
As an Army veteran, I can tell you that the Laborers Union operates in a similar way in how they help people with their career. I earn great pay and benefits, and they support me if I have any issues. My membership in Liuna is a win-win relationship, and I'm proud to be a union member.
To learn more, visit liunaminnesota.org.
Signs you should. Brought to you by Randy's Electric. The kids are screaming, the electronics aren't working, the phones, the tablet, the laptop, times 3, all plugged into the same circuit. Online school starts at 8. You're the teacher now. Work starts at 9. Nothing is working. The breaker is tripped. This has been a sign you should call Randy's Electric. Get the job done right the first time. Online at randyselectric.com. That's randyselectric.com.
Amazon is now hiring near you. We are looking for team members who know that delivering important packages is important work. Ready to work hard to make someone's every day? Ready for benefits and flexible shifts? Immediate hourly roles are available at amazon.com/apply. That's amazon.com/apply. Amazon is an equal opportunity employer.
Hi, I'm Brooke Burke. Do you ever consider just how important your feet are? They're quite literally the foundation of your body. And if you don't take care of them, you're asking for problems. That's why I wear Skechers' new Arch Fit shoes. Skechers teamed up with podiatrists to make a shoe that provides total foot and arch support. They use 20 years of data to design a podiatrist-certified insole that distributes support across the arch no matter what foot type you have, providing extreme comfort. Get Skechers' new Arch Fit at a Skechers store near you, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish shoes are sold.
The radio home of the Minnesota Vikings. FM 100.3, KFXM Minneapolis, St. Paul. The Fan.
Cousins fade left, caught by Jefferson, 2015, 10-5, touchdown. Justin Jefferson, a 49-yard touchdown, the second today for the young man. His first multiple touchdown game of what will be many during a very, very prosperous career. Not enough today, though. 40-21 Atlanta.
Welcome back to Minnesota Vikings FanLine. I'm Corey Coe from the Power Trip Morning Show. That's former Gopher and NFL wide receiver Ron Johnson. The Falcons win 40-23 over the Vikings. The Vikings have the bye next week. They are 1-5. They're in big trouble. Everything's falling apart. Ron Johnson, your crucial choice of the game, brought to you by Choice Bank.
I mean, there's a lot of choices we could have picked from the punting with 10 minutes to go, but I'm going to go with that 4th and 1, down 10, kick the field goal. We already dealt with that in Seattle. Kick the field goal, take the points, 3-10. You don't feel so bad. When you get stopped on the 1, yes, we can go back and forth. I like the call. That was the grass that we need the points. No, kick the field goal, take the points, and then let's go play some defense. Because now at least you feel good. You're back out there trying to stop them from the 1, and you feel like crap because you're like, my goodness, can you guys just get 1 yard?
Yeah, that's the frustration, right? You had 1st and goal from the 2. And I think that's another part of why Zimmer went for it. It's not only do you feel like we really, really need this game.
We can't get a half a yard of play.
Right.
Yeah.
We have 4 cracks to get 2 yards to get this back to a 10-7 game and get back in this.
Mm-hmm.
After the gut punch with that Cousins interception to start the game, and they're up 10-0. You have a chance early in the second quarter, 2 yards out, 4 cracks at it.
Right.
I think that was his mindset. You give it to Boone on 4th down, he gets stuffed. They turned it over when it was 4th and goal from the 1. And that I feel like that was the right call in terms of going for it.
Cam Newton was a free agent.
Oh, man, who was?
Cam Newton.
Oh, okay.
He's a great red zone.
Oh, they lost today to the Broncos.
True that.
Something like this is the first time. Oh,
but he's a great red zone quarterback.
I didn't see the year, but I saw the stat today. It's like the first time the Patriots have had a losing record in October in just years and years and years. I don't remember what year it was, but I believe they're now 2-3.
But speaking of like the red zone goal line stuff, the second downs, third downs, Kirk Cousins on second down is the 42nd ranked quarterback in the NFL.
That's not good.
There's only 32 teams. And he's 42nd on second down.
Well, that's like Pro Football Focus, right? Pro Football Focus is like Drew Samia is the 9,723rd ranked player. And you're like, that's way too many players. Right? He somehow is like 5,000 players worse than the worst player.
Right. Yeah, when you grade it out.
Yeah, man.
But second down, I don't know what it is, but like they're bad on second down, which is why they're in third long. But and it's a correlation. You look at who the top guys are, and I looked it up. Those guys are winning. Pat Mahomes, I forgot the other one, but I had the list from the pregame show this morning. And it's just crazy to me. And Matt Ryan, at one point, he was 45th when they started this game. I guarantee now when I look Tuesday, Matt Ryan's going to move up on second downs. Why? Because they were extremely effective today on second downs. He was getting the ball to Julio Jones. He was doing 3-step drops. Blah, blah. Kirk Cousins, you can't run the ball on first and then play action on second down every single time. They know it's coming.
Right.
So it's just not, I don't know. It doesn't work.
All right, back to the phone lines we go. Mallory in Elko. Hi, Mallory.
Oh, hi. How's it going?
Good.
So we've been talking a lot about the offense, and certainly there's a lot to rip with that. But the thing that actually scares me the most is over the past few years, we were always able to rely on our defense. We had an amazing defense. We get rid of everyone, and now we just look absolutely disastrous. And I guess that's my comment. My question would more so be, who is to blame for that, and what do we do to try to fix that, if anything? I don't know if we can this season, but that's actually what worries me more than what we've been seeing with the offense.
All right, thanks for the call. Yeah, how do you even remotely fix the defense in this season?
Yeah, well, I mean, so first I'll deal with her point of saying they got rid of everybody. They didn't get rid of everybody. They did offer some guys some contracts.
Like Alexander, right? Everson, It sounds like.
Everson, McKenzie, they talked to, they had a little bit of a conversation with Trey, but even Xavier Rhodes, there were conversation talks of, hey, we'll offer you this. Would you even take it? The biggest difference, like the Everson piece, I think it was even money. And Big Goon, same thing. They all, it was similar money. But it's almost like if your girlfriend that you're not happy with, who doesn't really want to be with you, but then she offers you like this, do you take that from her? Do you go to get a new girlfriend and say, let's just start over? Like, this doesn't work. Clearly, we're not happy. You leave your shoes out too much. You eat chicken fingers all day. I'm moving on.
What now?
And so if you think about that, these guys moved on. So it's not like the Vikings just flat out said, okay, we're going to get rid of everybody. We're moving on. They did offer the guys the same kind of money that the market was going to offer them. But I think to some of those guys, they felt like it was a slap in the face. Like, that's all you're offering me? And then when they get that same offer from another team, they took it. So that's not all on the Vikings getting rid of guys. The second part to her thing, though, is like, it's on the defensive coordinator. Who is that? We don't know. There's two co-coordinators and there's a guy calling the plays. So who do you blame when the guys aren't lined up? And again, they're going to blame Cam Dantzler's ball skills. They're going to blame Jeff Gladney not knowing to plaster Julio Jones when Matt Ryan scrambles. You can blame a bunch of people, but if you're not getting these guys up ready to play, then what's changed? What's changed in the scheme? Yes, Xavier Rhodes is gone, but what's changed? And that's only they know what really has changed internally with the voice. There's always a voice that the players can rally around. If they don't know which voice to rally around, maybe that's the confusion to start.
So if I understand your analogy, really what you're saying is pay women to be your girlfriend.
Yes.
Got it. Matt in Eden Prairie. Hi, Matt.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking up my call. Listening earlier, talking about having a younger coach and a younger thought process and a little bit more energy and getting the guys amped up. I can only think of PJ Fleck. I was wondering what your thoughts are. If there's any possibility that we can get him to be our coach maybe next year.
Your thoughts?
Well, I know there's a buyout for the Gophers, so I don't know. I think it was like a 3-year thing that it's a high number. But again, if you're a billionaire like the Wilfs, you can do it. You would pay a buyout if you really wanted PJ Fleck. I just don't know if roll the boat works for the NFL. When he was with the Buccaneers and when he was doing his thing, building his resume, you didn't hear a ton of roll the boat until he got to Western Michigan. So I don't know if a bunch of grown ass men that are in their 30s and have kids and No,
Tommy Olson's still 27. He loves rowing the boat. He would still absolutely row the boat at 27.
He's also a gigantic child. I'm talking about like grown
Say that
men.
to his cherubic face.
I did. I got a picture with him on Instagram. We just hung out at the Chad Greenway charity event.
Oh, wow. Thanks for the invite.
Hey, that Chad did the invites, not me.
Oh, yeah. Blame it on Chad.
But, if you look at grown men with kids at home, I don't know if some of that stuff worked. Now, the actual roll the boat thought process, yes, what it stands for, putting your back to the target, just go, let the coach lead you. Yes, that'll work. When I mean roll the boat, I mean like changing the logos and all that stuff doesn't work in the NFL because it's trademark. But if you look at his energy, his innovation, his psychology, like he's a huge psychologist as far as getting guys mentally ready for stuff. Yes, I think PJ Fleck would fit because guys are going to listen because he's been there and he knows what he's doing. Is it going to happen? Probably not next year. No. Will PJ Fleck maybe be a head coach in the NFL one day? Possibly, but he has that Lane Kiffin, Dabo Sweeney type of trajectory right now where he just has to keep winning and don't make any mistakes off the field. So he's on pace. But I like a guy like Eric Bieniemy. I like LaFleur. Like I like Shanahan. I like those young guys when you're looking at their offenses.
Stefanski.
When you're looking at their offenses thrive, and then they go on. Like I think even Zach Taylor, I think he's on to something with the Bengals. Like he got his quarterback. It looks like he has his guy. But he just has to find, ways to get other guys around him healthy. Like AJ Green's back. T. Higgins is doing well with the Bengals. So again, it comes down to who is the head coach, offensive coordinator, and quarterback in today's NFL. And that's why, we thought Belichick had something with Cam Newton, but clearly there's a little bit missing there. But Tom Brady, he's leading the way right now for the Bucs, and Bruce Arians and those guys are like, hey, go do it. It's two type of coaches. Bruce Arians is in the shadows. Zimmer wants his hands all over everything. And so you have to decide what works for your team. There's no formula besides let's try it. If it works, I'm going to keep doing it. If it doesn't work, I got to figure something else out. I'm getting fired. And that's where guys like Adam Gase are right now. He should be fired.
Tampa Bay 28-10. They're just starting the second half. The Packers down 18, and the Bucs will start with the ball. At halftime, the two future Hall of Famers, Tom Brady, 14 of 16 for 111 and 2 touchdowns, a 135.2 passer rating. Meanwhile, the Drunken Scotty's dealing with Aaron Rodgers going 11 of 25 for 128 and 2 picks, a 26.8 passer
all Scotty's
rating.
drunk
Have
right
you
now?
been there?
Just for a game.
One final segment, Power Trip morning show tomorrow, 5:30 to 9. Ben Lieber will break it down 7 o'clock and beyond from 7 to 9. And Dave Schwartz from Care 11 will be on 8 to 9 to break it down. But we have one segment to go, Ron, before I get to go home and get some sleep for the Power Trip morning show when I get to talk about this all over again, 5:30 to 9 tomorrow. But one final segment from us before we toss it over to Vikings Overtime. This is Minnesota Vikings FANLine on KFAN and the Fan Radio Network.
In business, things move quickly. You have to be ready to shift, pivot, adapt, then do it all over again. Comcast Business gives you fast, reliable internet on the nation's largest gig speed network. And now, ask how to get fast shipping with Amazon Business Prime Essentials. Whoa, that was fast. So no matter what comes next, you can do more than bounce back. You can bounce forward. Offer ends 10/25/20. Restrictions apply. Requires qualifying Comcast Business service. New Amazon Business Prime Essential members only.
Nordo here from my friends at Profile by Sanford. What up, AJ?
Hey, Nordo. Yeah, man, I'm thankful that football is back, but I'm even more thankful for Profile by Sanford. I've lost 53 pounds, and man, do I feel great.
Yeah, you look great, man. I've changed the way I eat and even how I think about food.
I have more energy, I'm sleeping better, and I feel better than I have in years.
What about the coaches, man? My Profile coach, they keep me accountable, encourage me every step of the way.
I definitely could not have done it on my own, so thank you, Profile.
To learn more about a profile near you, visit profileplan.com. That's profileplan.com.
Fall has blown into the Twin Cities, and now is the perfect time to upgrade to a new Honda. Honda's award-winning lineup of versatile and dependable SUVs offer the ideal mix of comfort, convenience, and sophistication. And with available all-wheel drive, you can make the most out of every journey with the 3-row Pilot, which I drive, the versatile HRV, or the adventure-ready CRV, now available in hybrid. View offers across Honda's entire award-winning lineup online at GreaterTwinCitiesHondaDealers.com or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Hey everybody, it's Chris Hockey here. When it comes to window replacement, all windows are not created equal. That's why I'm getting my new windows from Builders and Remodelers. My new Elements windows are award-winning for their looks, quality, reliability, and performance. 15 to 23 times more airtight than competitors' windows means I'm getting great windows at a great price, and you can too. For a limited time, buy one window, get the second at 50% off with incredible financing options. Just go to buildersandremodelers.com for details. That's buildersandremodelers.com. Nobody does it better.
It's Chris Hockey. How great is it to move into the fast lane, avoiding traffic jams, breezing through airport security? Nobody likes to wait in line, and that's why Chris Lindahl Real Estate's Guaranteed Offer program is perfect for you. Bypass the crowded marketplace and get maximum control and convenience. It's simple. You get a guaranteed offer on your home. There's no showings, no open houses, no stress. You even pick your closing date and close with confidence. Buying anything today, groceries, clothes, even cars, is all about control and convenience.
You go online, you check your options, you make your choices, you pick your delivery speed, and boom, you're done. So why should it be the same with real estate? Now it is with Chris Lindahl Real Estate's Guaranteed Offer Program. The days of cleaning and decluttering and trying to sell your current home before you want to buy your next one, those are over. Now you skip the headaches, you skip the stress, and you skip the uncertainty with the Guaranteed Offer Program. If you're ready to move into the fast lane and sell your home with maximum control and convenience, well, just go to chrislindahl.com today and start packing. It's chrislindahl.com. chrislindahl.com.
Alexa, how do I fix a circuit breaker that keeps tripping?
Yeah, that sounds like something to save for the professionals. You need to call Early Bird Electric. Their expertise is troubleshooting and rewires. They're offering a free service call with purchased repair. Get same-day service and a lifetime craftsmanship warranty. Early Bird Electric. Call
612 The Bird. Early Bird Electric. 612 The Bird.
T-Mobile for Business knows saving time and money is important for your business. That's why we're introducing Microsoft 365 on us, now included in our best business plans. With Office apps, Microsoft Teams, cloud storage, and more, Microsoft 365 on us gives you the tools you need to run your business. Stop by a T-Mobile store today. Qualifying plan required. Contactless to activate. 1 license per line, max 2 per account. Third-party terms apply. See T-Mobile.com for plan details.
Your radio home for Vikings football. FM 100.3 KFAN.
1st and 5 from the Falcons 44, 17-0 Atlanta. Minnesota with 3 timeouts deep in the first half. Cousins, straight drop ball, stiff third pick. It is an interception by the Atlanta Falcons. Heading up the field is Oluwakan, center of the field, and he gets to the Vikings 48-yard line. Ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage, and the second-year product from Yale was able to pick it off. And it's the 3rd interception today for Kirk Cousins.
All right, one final segment before it's time for Vikings Overtime. I'm Corey Coe from the Power Trip. That's Ron Johnson from Twitter. 651-989-5326 or 1-800-320-5326. If we don't get to you, Vikings Overtime probably will.
It's the Twitter.
Final sponsor for us, Ron Johnson. The Builders and Remodelers, what they need to build on. Thanks to our friends at Builders and Remodelers. What? After this loss, could the Vikings build on?
Well, there's a lot they can build on. One, I'm going to say the running game. But my biggest thing, I'm looking at targets to Justin Jefferson and Irv Smith. They need to build on that. You need to have specific plays for Irv Smith. If you watch Irv in that deep over, like I think he ran like a corner route from the slot, nobody can guard him that's supposed to cover a tight end one-on-one. So when I say that, I mean like a safety coming down in the box to guard him. When you look at a linebacker walking out to guard him after he's motioned or he's split out, use that. Use the fact that he runs routes like a receiver. I mean, he was able to, from the slot, run kind of like a post, but then like a hard out. I mean, like stuck his foot in the ground and then got back to the corner, and Kirk Cousins made a nice throw to him. So when you have a guy like that, use him. Use him for routes that tight ends don't normally run. Post, corner, post. Dig, post, or post digs. Like stuff that linebackers aren't accustomed to covering a guy like him running, that's what they should be doing. Kind of like Shannon Sharp. You remember he used to do a ton of stuff from out wide and at the slot. You got to use your weapons. I mean, I keep going back to Madden, and I know you guys are Twitch guys. When you're looking at Madden, you just video game people. You take your better, faster guy like a Tyreek Hill, and you say, I'm going to motion this guy until you can't keep up with him. I'm going to throw the out route, and then I'm going to take off running with him. That's what the actual Chiefs do in real games. So if you have a guy like Irv and you know is a linebacker covering him, come on, man. Like, make the play. Like, just say, hey, we're going to take advantage of the mismatch. And that's what I want to build on.
Robert in Minnetonka, you're on Vikings FANLine. Hi, Robert.
Playoffs? We just want to win a game.
Okay. For the record, by the way, he held for over an hour.
To do that. It wasn't even excited. He wasn't excited.
That was a 62-minute hold
for playoffs, but he didn't even say it loud enough.
No. I don't know. I guess he's got a lot of free time.
He could have done the hello. You play to win the game. Like, there's a lot he could have went with.
I mean, you know what you can do in an hour?
What can you do?
Anything but stay on
How many
hold
chicken
for a
fingers
radio
could you
show.
eat in an hour?
Not lots. Bruce, welcome to Minnesota Vikings FANLine.
Hey, how you doing? First time, short time.
Right on. Okay.
All right. I lived in Denver. I'm from Minnesota. I lived in Denver for 30 years. For everything you're saying about Shannon Sharpe is true. I'm going to list off a couple things and then hang up and listen. All right. The salary cap. Cousins signing. How many defensive players could not be signed because offered a good contract because of the signing? 2.
Well, can we stop right there, Bruce? I mean, they gave a whole bunch of defensive players big time extensions.
A whole bunch of money, yeah.
They didn't.
Yeah.
He wants everybody
they
signed,
did.
though. He's saying he wants everybody
they
signed.
didn't lose almost anybody. I mean, honestly, a lot of the guys that they wanted to let go, they let go. Like, I truly don't think they wanted Xavier Rhodes back unless they could have got him for almost no money. That wasn't a money issue, right? Trey Waynes probably was a money thing.
Trey was a money issue.
The rest of them
I
weren't.
think Xavier, they wanted him, but right, like maybe the number he wanted, they probably didn't want to spend.
Right, but not
But they would've
salary
they
cap
would've taken
related.
him
It was
back.
just, we don't think you're worth X anymore.
Of what you want,
no pun
right.
intended,
Yeah.
right. And all right,
Well,
point 2.
They could have fandangled and gotten a little bit better and maybe kept him, maybe not. It doesn't matter. Anyway, on Zim's resume, you mentioned this earlier. He's a defensive guru. Okay, here's your defense. Go guru. He ain't guruing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
His guru-ration
I
is
think
not
a
working.
lot of his decisions. Are personal things, not player personnel type things.
Well, give me an
Also-
example. What do you mean? Give me an example of that.
Well, I don't really like doing this, but the Case Keenum thing. He led us to the playoffs. Yeah, he got buried in the playoffs, but I think he did enough that year, and that was a tumultuous year for the quarterback position in the Vikings, if you agree or not. But I think he did enough that, okay, Case, let's see what you can do. Now, when he went to Denver, they did not play to his strengths. I was in Denver at the time, and they did not play to his strengths.
Mm-hmm.
So,
right.
but that's that's my stuff. I don't know.
All right. No sweat.
The
Thanks for the call,
Vikings
Bruce.
The Vikings make a person want to drink. This year, they make a person want to guzzle.
Okay, geez, that's aggressive. I like that Bruce is one of the never-ending examples of wanting to admit that they should have had Case Keenum, but gun shy to actually say the words.
Right.
Like, oh boy, I don't want to do this. I'm going to end up on the podcast, but
Antoine Winfield should have had the interception there.
I would have kept Keenum.
Yeah.
Ooh, boy.
He's
gun shy to admit it.
he shouldn't be gun shy. We should not. There's no way to keep Keenum. Like, Keenum was lightning in a bottle. It was awesome. It was a miracle. He'll live in the history of Vikings annals. But
Okay.
it will never
The show's got to end real quick.
It will never ever be his team. Like, it wouldn't have worked. Like, yeah, he had a great year, but no, where we saw what he was in other teams, and it's just not there.
All right, the Vikes lost. The season has fallen apart. They get a bye week to think about it. Then the Green Bay Packers, who are getting smoked right now, 31-10 by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They are the opponent of the Vikings in 2 weeks. So bye week next week, then at Green Bay. I know a lot of people that aren't in the tank for Trevor camp, right? That don't want to see tanks. They always want to see the Vikings win as many games as possible. Hey, at least if you go 4-12, right? If you're going to win 3 or 4 games and screw up a draft position, it's always nice to at least make the Packers one of those 3 or 4, right? If you're going to win and screw this thing up, at least have those wins be against the drunken Scots.
And looking at this Packers team, I don't know what, and I'm going to watch the film probably tomorrow. I don't know what the Bucs are doing defensively, because like we talked about the interceptions early. But whatever they're doing,
he's flustered.
Just do it.
Yeah, he's thrown 2 picks, and he's had almost 2 or 3 others, right?
Yeah.
Rodgers is way off
Antoine
today.
Winfield just dropped one.
Right.
Like, it was in his chest.
Would have been a big day for the Gophers.
Yeah, huge day. It's not over yet.
Ron, I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah.
I'm
Sorry.
sad.
Vikings Overtime is next. Power Trip Morning Show tomorrow, 5:30 to 9. Ben Lieber joins at 7. Dave Schwartz at 8. We'll talk about the Vikings loss to the Falcons, and we'll talk about the passing of sports writer immortality, right? Sid Hartman, who passed away today at the age of 100. We'll talk about that tomorrow, 5:30 to 9 as well.
And
Vikings Overtime next. What's that?
Season 2 of Bull? It's back.
No.
Should talk about that.
Season 2?
Yes, they re-signed him.
Aren't they on like season 6?
No.
Of Bull?
Yes.
It can't be.
It's like
only
2 or 3
seasons.
It's like 2 or 3.
Chris has been watching that show for like a decade.
No, he has not.
Okay. No one should be watching Bull anyway.
It's a great show.
I'm talking about the passing
Season
of
4?
Sid Hartman, and you mentioned
Season 4.
season 2 of
There's
Bull.
season 4. Season 4.
Overtime's next. See you later.